Hey y'all, welcome to the Farm and Pastor's Wife.
Good morning, everybody.
Look who's with me.
Hey, I get to hang out for just a second.
Just a second, then I'm kicking him out. But we wanted to come on and say today we're going to make for supper, we're going to have something kind of comforting, but yet it's not cold outside, it's just kind of stormy. And so we're going to have something comforting. And what's more comforting than Italian, right?
Italian, mamma mia.
We're having baked spaghetti tonight. So if that sounds like something you're interested in or that you would enjoy, or if you just like seeing the two of us.
That's what I'm talking about.
How about hitting the subscribe button and hit the bell notification so you don't miss anything. And be sure to give me a thumbs up and leave me a comment. So stay tuned. We're making
Baked spaghetti.
baked spaghetti.
See you in a second.
Okay, y'all, so before we get started on the spaghetti, I wanted to do a couple of announcements real quick, and then there'll be some more at the end of the video. One, several of you have asked about devotional type videos, so stay tuned. I have a special announcement about that at the end of the video. Also, I have another channel I want you to check out, and I'll announce that at the end of the video. But first, let me just say, I hope everyone has stayed safe and you are staying safe. If you don't know what I'm talking about, a line of storms with tornadoes and so forth have come through Florida, Alabama, Georgia, and we are bracing for it here in North Carolina. They have lessened our risk. We were at a pretty high risk, but they have lessened that today, but they have not arrived yet. So we are anticipating hunkering down for the day, and so I want to get this spaghetti made and put together, so if we have to heat it up in another manner, like on the grill or something, we can do that if needed. So I'm going to gather all my ingredients. I'm going to gather everything I need, and we'll get started on this baked spaghetti. Okay, so the best place to start with making my baked spaghetti is with an onion. So we're going to get started chopping an onion. And I'll try to turn it this way so you guys can see what I'm doing. And I just peel the outside layer off and any skin that's left. And I chop towards the center. I take everything and go towards the center. And then I take it and go down. And you have pretty little chopped pieces of onion. So, let's see if I can snap this other one into being chopped. 1, 2, 3. Okay, there you go. I did it. All right, so let me back you up. I'm going to bring my frying pan over here. And we're just going to saute this up. I don't have to go ahead and have my oil hot. You can, or you can have it hot, or you can just put everything in together and then turn it on. I'm going to put a good amount of olive oil, and I'm just going to put my onions right in here, and we're going to get them on. We're just going to saute them up. They can brown a little bit. I just want to get them translucent, but if I let them go a little further, that's okay as well. And so I'm going to get this going. I'm going to set it over here, put it on a medium high, and we'll get started. I'll bring you back just as soon as they have sauteed up, and we'll go to the next step. While the onions are sauteing up, I'm going to open up and drain any blood off of this, excess blood. I mean, just a little bit. This is our hamburger from our farm, home raised, and so I'm going to get this prepared while the onions are sauteing up. Okay, as you can see, they are good and translucent. They are ready. Now I'm going to add in some of my homegrown but frozen peppers. Now I'm going to turn the heat down and actually just take it off the heat a little bit. It's still going to splatter some, but since these are frozen, there is liquid water, so water does splatter when it hits something hot. So I'm going to add, this is larger than a tablespoon measuring, so I'm going to add probably 3 of these scoops. I'm really not sure what size that is. Probably that's a good 1/3 of a cup of peppers. We'll put it back on the heat. Okay. So we're going to add in that green pepper flavor. Just a little bit. It's not going to overpower it. Keep the onion jumped out. Alright, now let's add in, I turned the heat down, so let's add in some garlic. You don't ever want to burn your garlic. I'm going to put in 2 tablespoons. Now I'm cooking a pretty big amount, so believe it or not, that 2 tablespoons is really not that much. Believe it or not. I know it looks like a lot, but it's not. Alright, let's turn the heat back up a little bit to have some of that liquid evaporate, and then we'll get our hamburger going and start browning it up along with these onions and peppers and so on. I'll bring you back in just a second. Alright, let's go in with our meat at this time. And I'll start breaking it up with this spoon, and then I'll go get my meat chopper. And that one's still a little frozen. So I'll go get my meat chopper and we'll go from there. Okay guys, you can tell that my meat has browned up nicely. The onions and peppers are in there. So we're going to add in, it's going to be a 20-ounce can of crushed tomatoes. I have an extra one here just in case we need more. We're going to add those crushed tomatoes. And then I'm going to take my can over to the sink and fill it about 1/4 of the way up with water just to rinse it out and add a little bit of water. Okay, so we'll check that and see in just a little bit if we need more. We probably will, but I'm going to wait and see. I have some Italian seasoning here. Look at this beautiful little scoop that was sent to me. This is handcrafted in Kenya, I believe. And I even have a picture of the artisan who made this. So I love it. So it's going to be my spice scoop. I don't even know how to tell you. I would say probably that was 2 teaspoons. And I'm going in with another. So maybe a tablespoon of Italian seasoning, and we're going to keep tasting this and checking. And yes, I did put the garlic, but I'm going to add a little bit more garlic powder. Not a whole lot. I'm going to throw in some parsley flakes. In fact, let's take the lid off and put a good amount in there. Parsley flakes going in. Now, this is something you probably don't add to spaghetti sauce, but I'm going to put a little bit of, just a few dashes of Worcestershire sauce, just to give it a good depth, a meatiness, if you will. And we also need some salt. We don't need that much salt. We're going to do a sprinkling of salt. And let's hope I have black pepper. And a little bit of black pepper as well. Now you do this to your taste. I'll leave the ingredients, but I'll leave the amounts up to you guys. So let's stir in this tomato. I like my sauce to be meaty, but I also want it to have plenty of tomato juice with it. I believe this might be perfect. might just be perfect. I know I won't need an entire can of tomato sauce, so I may have to look for something smaller. If not, I'll just use part of that. I think we will need a little bit more. All right, let me open this and add a little bit more to it. Ha! So I didn't have to open the other can. I found a can of tomato sauce, and we're just gonna add that whole can. If I had some tomato paste, I would use that. I'm just kind of using what's in my cabinet. But I think that's gonna make it delicious. And I'll look for some tomato paste, but I believe that's gonna be really good. Now I'm also gonna add in maybe a tablespoon of sugar. And I don't necessarily, I mean, if y'all think it cuts the acidic, that's great, whatever. I do it because I like the flavor. I like it having just a slight, there's a tomato skin, a slight sweetness. I don't want it overpoweringly sweet, but I want it just to have a slight sweetness. So I'm gonna get this back over on the stove and let it simmer and let all the flavors just melt together. Then we'll give it a taste and see what it needs. So while my sauce is over here simmering and bubbling away, and I need to turn it down, but while it's simmering, I'm going to go ahead and get my pasta made, because I can make this ahead of time, put it together, and just wait till supper time to stick it in the oven to heat it up. Everything can be made ahead of time. So I'm going to go ahead and get my pasta going, and you don't need to watch me do that because you know how to cook a box of pasta. So, but you can use whatever you want. We're using spaghetti tonight. You can use any kind of pasta you'd like. So this is just simmering away. I'm going to get the pasta started, and then I'll come back when it's time to put it together. I know I said I wouldn't show you how to do a thing of pasta, but I do have 2 tips. You want to, in your pasta water, you want to heavily salt it at that time, because that's the only chance you get to give your pasta a good seasoning. And I know a lot of us like to put a drop of oil in the water. And I do, like if I'm going to make just regular spaghetti where my noodles are separate, because I don't like my noodles to clump together. But in this case, since we're making a baked spaghetti and I want everything clinging together, we don't want to slick the pasta down to where the sauce won't adhere to it, or we don't want the sauce sliding off our noodles before we get it in our mouth. So I say at this point, if you're making a baked spaghetti, don't put oil in the water. Just plenty of salt, and turn the right burner on. I've been turning the wrong burner on all day long. So be sure you turn the correct burner on, and get your water to boiling and drop it. And we're going to cook it al dente, because it's going to cook again while it's in it's going to absorb the moisture of the sauce and everything, and it will cook again in the oven. So just do it to the first, if it says 9 to 11 minutes, then do it 9 minutes. So we'll see you back in just a second. Okay guys, my timer just came out. My timer just beeped. I'm gonna leave one of those in there just so I can get a hold of it. Perfect doneness. And I'm just gonna add it to this big pot that my sweet friend Renita sent me. And we're just gonna transfer all the noodles. I did break them in half, which probably was not smart for this purpose. And I could drain this, but for time's sake and ease sake, I'm not. I'm just scooping and going. Just scooping and going. That really probably would have been smarter to drain the, well, no, because the noodles would have come out too. Never mind. You do it what's easy for you. I'll do it what's easy for me. You know, a lot of people like to peel things with vegetable peelers. I don't. To me, it's not easy. I don't like it. But if it's easier for you, then by all means do it. We're not all alike. We all do things differently. It's just, we're all different. And thank the Lord we are. That right. All right, I believe that's about it. Might be a 2 or 3 at the bottom for me to nibble on. Let me try one more time to get some more. All right, I don't want to let anything go to waste because this baked spaghetti is going to be so good. And y'all, that's my last thing of spaghetti. So we're going to have to go stock up on spaghetti noodles. Ah, that one keeps a little slippery little sucker. He keeps trying to get away from me. All right, let's move this. And let's bring our sauce over. And I'm going to switch spoons. Can y'all see that beautiful sauce and how pretty it is? Oh my goodness. Okay, so yes, you can layer this. And I am going to layer it sort of, but I also want to mix a little bit. I want the noodles all to be coated with some sauce. And then we can always keep out some sauce if you want to. This is all up to you. Oh, and by the way, I did add a little bit more sugar. But the sugar is a personal preference. That is whatever you want to do. If you want to add if you don't like it sweet or anything, then don't add it. This is going to be kind of a one layer, sort of, pretty much, dish. But I do keep a little extra sauce to top it off at the top. And it's not like I'm going to do spaghetti sauce cheese. I'm going to kind of dump it all in, top it at the end with a little more sauce and a little more cheese. And so I'm probably getting pretty good right there. All right, and we'll set this aside. We'll top it off with this, what's left. Oh, I'm losing it. All right, so let's add in to our spaghetti and meat sauce some Parmesan cheese. That was probably 1/4 of a cup. And yes, it would be better if you had the real stuff. But this dish is kind of me using what's in my pantry. And that's something we're going to talk about at the end of the video. That's one of the things I wanted to talk about at the end of the video. But I'm using up what I have so I can kind of get a list of what I need. Okay, let me grab my pan. I'm going to spray it. I'm going to probably add a little more of this type cheese into it in just a second. Okay, I have my pan here and I've sprayed it. Now, before I transfer everything over, I want to add in some cheese. And like I said, I'm using what I have. So I have bits of pieces of cheeses in my refrigerator. So we're just going to kind of finish them out. And I'm going to add, this is cheddar. Some was mild, some was sharp. And this is mozzarella. So I'm going to put a handful of the mozzarella in there. And I'm going to put a handful of the sharp cheddar. And we're going to stir that around. So yes, it's going to be a cheesy, ooey gooey baked spaghetti. Wonderful, wonderful dish. All right, so let's go in here and hope it holds it all. Sorry, I know that pan's in your way. All right. All right. Now let me bring my sauce back over. We're going to bring the sauce back over. And like you could add some cottage cheese. You could add some ricotta cheese. I mean, the options are endless here. And I'm just going to top the top with this meat sauce. I think I got cheese on my spoon. I do. I was like, what is that string in? There's a string in my sauce, but it was the cheese. Okay. All right, so we have topped that off with that beautiful meat sauce. And one reason I like doing that is because I don't like getting crunchy noodles. Now, some people like crunchy noodles, but I don't like the crunchy noodles. So, okay. All right, so on top of this, we're going to top it off with some cheese. And then I'm going to clean up and make a salad, and supper will be ready. Oh, we just have to bake it off. Now, this will melt, I mean, because the sauce is hot. So if you wanted to wait till right before you stuck it in the oven to put the cheese on, you could. But if I was like making this as a freezer meal, I'd go ahead and put the cheese on. This is a great freezer meal. You can make it to this point, make it and put it in one of those tin pans that y'all know I love. And then wrap it up in tin foil, bring it out, thaw it, and bake it off. Okay, guys, is that not a beautiful baked spaghetti right there? Now, it's not baked yet. It will be, but all right. So there you go. And I'm just gonna make a salad. I'm gonna clean up first, and then I'm gonna make a salad, and then I will have you guys back when it comes time to taste this beautiful thing. I can't wait. I can't wait to see how Judah likes it. Oh my goodness. So, y'all stay tuned. We'll be back in just a second.
Take a look at the current and stop the loop. And you can see right around Liberty, we're getting some storm weather. And let's just go ahead and check rotation from there and go north and see if there's anything. No rotation around Liberty, so...
Y'all, just wait till you see Bryant. What he has on, he has received 2 of them from 2 different people. So you'll see those 2 a lot. So just hang tight. All right, I'm going to scoop him up. You want to come and show him what it looks like?
Look at there.
It's been out a while, so it's cooled down just a little bit.
Delicious. Look how cheesy that is right there.
Look at that.
It's still steaming. You can see the steam rolling off of there.
It smells heavenly.
Oh, look right there.
All right, put the camera up and let's let them see you. Okay, guys, back up so they can see you. Sure.
Phenomenal.
And he's got another one.
Yeah, I've actually got 2 of them. So.
And just wait till we wear the other one, because I've got one, and what it says is hilarious.
So you guys just got to look close up a while ago. Look at that spaghetti right there. It is beautiful. The cheese is good. Judy, you want to bite?
No, it's hot. It's hot. Just wait. Wait till it cools down.
This is great right here.
Is it phenomenal?
It's phenomenal. This is not keto friendly.
Of
course,
we'll get some in
You
here.
could do it with some whole wheat noodles.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Or gluten free. I mean, if you're watching your gluten, you can use gluten free.
This right here is a quick and easy little supper. Don't you agree, Mom? Mm-hmm. And you can actually do this ahead of time.
Yes,
Refrigerate it the night before, and then just bake it the day of.
Did you get strangled?
Yeah, I did.
You just said, I want some.
You want some?
Is it hot?
It's warm. Go ahead, take a bite. He's undecided.
Oops.
Oops. Good thing Papa's eating behind
Good thing we're family.
Yeah.
So it was hot.
So guys, here it is, easy peasy, baked spaghetti for you guys, baked spaghetti.
Right back.
So here we go.
All right, guys. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned. I got some stuff to talk to you about. So, and I'm going to give you a brief, show you what else I made to go along with it. Okay, guys, I just made a simple but beautiful tossed salad with ham and provolone cheese, iceberg lettuce, spring mixed greens, tomatoes, cucumbers, and just some. This is barbecue bread. You guys asked me what the barbecue bread was. It's just a bread, and I think it gets its name. I'm really not sure where it gets its name, but that's what we refer to when we call barbecue bread.
It actually says it on the packet.
Yeah, it does. The package says barbecue bread. So, all right, I'm going to call the family and we're going to go eat. Okay, guys, so the first thing I wanted to tell you guys about, I wanted to tell you about a friend of mine who has a YouTube channel. This friend of mine, first of all, let me preface it by saying, this is for ladies, if you like to hunt. I hunt with my husband. I'm not very good at it. But I enjoy going with him. I enjoy watching all the hunting channels on TV. I enjoy fishing. I love to fish. Anything outdoors, I love to do, and I wish I was good at hunting. I wish I could say all the deer heads in the house were mine, but they're not. So, ladies, if you enjoy hunting, or if your husbands or your sons or your grandsons, if any of you like to hunt or do anything outdoors, or if you just love beautiful outdoor scenery, beautiful scenery, I'm going to tell you about a friend of mine. This friend of mine is 12 years old, and this 12-year-old is a beautiful young lady in our church. Her name is Maddie, and I would love for you guys to go show her the love that you show me and subscribe to her channel. Her channel is Buckhorn Outdoors. And let me tell you, she can give any man, full-grown adult man, a run for their money. Let me tell you. This girl tells you how to set coyote traps. She tells you how to hunt for sheds, which are the antlers when they shed them off. She shows you how to set up a feeder. The girl is good, and she's better than any man I've seen hunting. So let me tell you, I want you guys to go to her channel. If it's your thing, if it's not, don't worry about it. Don't go. But her channel just amazes me. She is 12 years old, and she ends every video with a scripture and a quick devotion, and she just blesses my heart. So I want you guys to go over there, subscribe to her channel if you don't mind, and tell her that the farm and pastor's wife, her pastor's wife, sent you to her, and just show her the love that you guys show me, and I would appreciate it so very much. She and I are going to do a collaboration together, or not really a collaboration. I think she's going to come here, or I'm going to go there at some point, and we're going to cook some of what she does. Now, let me tell you, they eat everything that they hunt. It is food. It is not just done willy-nilly. It is food for their family. And so I just want you guys to go over there and show her some love, and tell her that Leslie over at the Farm and Pastor's Wife sent you to her, and tell all your men folk that like to hunt, or your lady folks that like to hunt, tell them to go check her out. So with that being said about her ending her channel with devotions, I wanted to talk a little bit about that, because you guys have mentioned to me, and I'll link her channel down below in my description. You guys have mentioned to me about wanting me to do a Bible study video. And so I normally upload videos Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, all at 7 p.m. anytime on Saturday, and Sundays are a freebie. Sometimes you'll get a Sunday video and sometimes you won't. So what I've decided to do is, because I can't really commit to doing a specific day for a Bible study, what I want to do is plan on just doing an extra video every now and then. So that's why it's so important, once you hit subscribe, to be sure to go ring the bell. And be sure when you ring the bell that you click all, because you'll get all the notifications of any time I upload a video. And so you won't miss the devotional video, because I never know when I'm going to do it. It may be a Sunday video, or I may just haphazardly do one on Wednesday or do one on Friday. And that extra video will be a devotional. It may not happen every week. It may only happen twice a month. So we're going to work on that. But also at the end of my videos, I want to somehow, not every video, I'm going to try to do it on every video, but maybe not every video, because sometimes I just grab the camera in the midst of hustle and bustle getting supper, and it's just crazy. And you know, Judah's here running around. So it may not happen on every video. But I'll try to have it pretty often. At the end of the video, I may read a scripture. I may give you a spiritual thought. We may have a point of discussion, something to talk about, spiritually related. And so that leads me, that's my great segue into where I'm going now. Today's spaghetti, when it's so good, oh my goodness. We are, I did it cleaning out my refrigerator, cleaning out the extra stuff I had, and getting rid of all the little extra bags of cheeses and so forth. And so I can restock everything. And I've had something on my heart. I can't say that Bryant is on, it's not that he's not on the same wavelength. He just didn't have quite the passion I have about it. And that's probably because I'm the one that does the cooking. I'm the one that provides the food for the family. But my thought is, and I want to know what you guys think about a food storage plan. I remember back last year, 2020, in March, Bryant and I had gone to Asheville for a little getaway. And while we were there is when all the shutdown happened. The restaurants were closed. We could only find one restaurant that would deliver, and that was Domino's. And so we ended up cutting our trip short because we couldn't do anything. Everything was shut down. And everybody was going to the grocery stores. And so I said, well, before we leave, there's grocery stores everywhere up there. I said, let's run by a grocery store and just grab some stuff that we might need. And y'all, when I got to the grocery store, we went to Sam's. We went to a couple other stores while we were there. Things were gone. And I remember the feeling I had. I mean, I didn't need any, it wasn't like we had an immediate need, but we didn't know how long this shutdown was going to last. And so I wanted to have like some dried beans or some rice or, but I couldn't find anything. I finally, at one store, found like a mixed bag of beans. And I think we bought a couple of those. But I remember the feeling I had. And let me just say, I'm not talking about doing a year's worth of food storage or having a bunker or a bug out bag, or I'm not talking about going to those extremes, which if that's you, that's fine. I do think there is a fine line between being prudent and wise and crossing over into fear and lack of trust. And I don't want to ever cross that line, but I can my summer foods when I grow a garden. Now, yes, all the years I've probably canned them because they're my fresh garden green beans and they just taste better than everything else, but it's still preparing. And so I prayed about this. I said, Lord, I don't want to show a lack of trust in you, but I want to be wise, and this is something that's just been in my mind, and I haven't even started a food storage, so I haven't even started that, but this is what's going on in my mind, other than my canned vegetables that I can over the summers. I don't know. And I prayed about it, and I said, Lord, I need you to show me biblically what I need to do, because I don't want to do anything that would show people that I don't trust you, because I trust him for everything. His word says we won't ask for bread and he give us a stone. And so he brought me to the story of Joseph, where Joseph interpreted Pharaoh's dreams, and he says, well, you're going to have 7 years of plenty, and then we're going to have 7 years of famine. And so what Joseph did in his wisdom that was God-given, he stored up throughout the years of plenty, he stored up all the grain and corn and whatever. And then in the years of famine, he was able to feed his country. And then I've come across this scripture. It's Proverbs 21:20. It says, in the house of the wise are stores of choice food. In other words, the wise people have stored up some food and oil, but a foolish man devours all that he has. And so I don't know. What are your thoughts? I haven't started this yet, other than, like I said, canning the things I've canned from my garden, and of course the cow that we have had butchered. I just have normal groceries in my cabinet that I can pull from. But I am thinking about starting maybe just a couple weeks worth, or maybe a couple months worth. And I want to be able to, if someone was to need something, have something to give them. I don't think we've seen the end of the chaos. And I'm not talking about it being Corona coming back or COVID coming back. I'm talking about it could be something else. It could be a catastrophic storm. It could be an economical collapse. I don't know what it could be, but I know what the scriptures teach me, that in the end times, there's going to be lots of turbulence, and we're going to experience a lot of birth pains. So you guys tell me what you think, because I'm still struggling with this. I really feel like the way I'm leaning to have, but I don't want to cross that line. I do not want to cross over from being wise and prudent and smart and a good steward into fear and not trusting my Lord, because I trust him for everything. Everything I have, he has given me. Even the things I've earned on my own has only been because of him. Because there is a fine line. So hear me when I say there is a fine line, and I don't want to cross it. But I do think we are called to be prudent. So you guys, leave me a comment down below and tell me what you think about this. I thank God. I want to have things to give to people in need. And if I don't, and by all means, do not hoard anything. Do not go to the store hoarding. And you use what you store. This is what my thought process is. If I have it and I've stored it, I'm going to use it. And then when I use that can of whatever it is, I'll buy another one and replace it and rotate it out. I don't think, and if I ever go to the store and there are 2 items of something, I'm not going to buy 2. I'm going to buy me 1 and leave the other one. I don't want to ever take away from anybody else. And so number 1, we're not going to hoard. Number 2, we're not going to take everything that's left. We will leave something for someone else. And we will be wise, and we don't want to cross over into fear of this. I want to be able, if something were to happen, I would like to feed my neighbors if needed. I would like to feed my brother who lives right across here if needed. I have my daughter and 2 grandsons and a son-in-law that I want to feed. I have neighbors down the road. I have elderly neighbors. I have an uncle down the road and an aunt. I want to be able to feed people if needed. But like I said, I want to trust the Lord. So tell me your thoughts. What are your thoughts on this? I'm really seeking his face on this because everything I do, I want to bring him glory. And if it's not going to bring him glory, or if it's going to taint him or my testimony in any way, I don't want to do it. So tell me your thoughts. What are your thoughts? So thank you guys for watching The Farm and Pastor's Wife. I hope you enjoyed the baked spaghetti as much as we did. And yes, I'm saying, anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope everybody stayed safe in the storms. They still have not gotten here yet. And so anyway, hopefully they'll pass us. Because we have chickens, and I sure don't want to deal with chickens in a storm. So thank you guys for watching The Farm and Pastor's Wife. Thank you for joining me here in my den, in my chair of where we'll have our spiritual little talks, our scripture readings and so forth. And y'all stay tuned and watch for the devotional videos or Bible study videos. We will definitely have them. I feel a pulling to do this. I feel a tugging to do this, and I'm just going to ease into it the best way I know how, and that is just by doing an occasional, maybe once a week, or maybe even once every other week, devotional video. So, and I never know when they're going to hit, because I just never know how my life is going to go, because as a farmer you can't plan it, as a ministry family you can't plan it, and you just can't plan. So so watch for them. Be sure to hit that bell. Be sure to hit that bell and hit all. So thank you guys for watching The Farm and Pastor's Wife, and remember, if the grease is hot enough, you can fry anything. Bye y'all.